What if everyone in the world showers at the same time? Have you taken a bath today? Had you taken a bath yesterday? Or the day before yesterday? You are all wondering why I am asking these silly questions. There is a reason behind it. According to a YouGov poll from 2019, 49% of its respondents showered once a day, and 1 in 5 showered 4 to 6 times a week. 1 in every 20 people, or about 6%, showered or bathed several times per day. But what if the world decides to bathe on the same day at the same time? What would be the result of it? Do you have any ideas? If yes, tell me in the comments, and if you wondered by listening to this question and you really want to know the impact of this, be with me up to the end of this video. See, in our childhood, we read about the concept of the water cycle. In it, we were taught that glaciers melt down and the melted water comes into rivers and oceans. We use river water for our daily purposes, and ocean water has no use except for bringing monsoons. And this whole cycle is maintained because the whole is divided into different parts, and those areas have their own balanced water cycle. But at any fixed hour, when the whole world starts bathing, the water cycle gets affected by it. Because there are around 8 billion people on this planet, the average usage of water by a person while bathing is 100 liters, and there will be 800 billion liters of water needed when such conditions happen. And you can imagine how drastic the situation will be. What will happen if there are 100 people in a room, including you, and you all start taking showers at the same time? Nothing much. Just the stored water in the tank will start decreasing rapidly. Okay, that's logical. But what else? Let me tell you, the room will become extremely hot due to vapor. You might be thinking there must be so many exhaust fans in that room for proper ventilation. Okay, I got this. But this is just a scenario. We are here talking about what if everyone on this planet starts taking showers at the same time. That is why I created the scenario of 100 people in a closed room. We have a big problem, which is water shortage, because there are more than 7.9 billion people on this planet. Imagine if we all wasted the water and it became a global shortage. Sounds terrifying, right? Well, can you imagine life without water and the amount of destruction humanity will face? For now, let's talk about what would happen if all the water vanished from the face of the planet. First and foremost, if all the water from the earth mysteriously vanished, all life would perish. Because water is a substantial component of all known living cells, including plants, animals, fungi, and other organisms, they would all dry up and collapse to dust. Due to the high oxygen content and lack of water vapor, the sky may change hue and take on a reddish tint. The surface temperature would decrease dramatically if water vapor did not operate as a greenhouse gas, maybe to below freezing. At this stage, the planet has become uninhabitable. The oceans would be bare, dwarfing the Grand Canyon to such an extent that it would be comical. Yet the ocean floor would be extraordinarily bright, covered in several inches to feet of salt that snowed down to the floor when the water vanished. What was once known as Hawaii's main island is now only the peak of Mauna Kea, the world's new tallest mountain. It goes without saying that the human species would perish quickly in the absence of water. The same can be stated for all animals and plants, as H2O is one of the essential building components for life to thrive. But what about the Earth as a whole? It would undoubtedly appear different without seas, rivers, or lakes, but in what other ways would it change? Here are some of the potential outcomes if all of the water on our beautiful green planet evaporated overnight. Massive sinkholes would appear all over the planet as all subsurface aquifers and reservoirs dried up, leaving the continents we once knew permanently pockmarked. A thin coating of oxidized dust will gradually settle over everything, constantly disseminated and deposited by the wind, giving the globe a crimson hue similar to Mars. There would still be wind since the atmosphere would be heated by the sun, but there would be no weather. When the environment builds up enough charge, there will be the rare bolt of lightning or sheet lightning. Isn't that strange? Without the oceans to cover all the formerly undersea volcanoes where new seafloors are formed, the new red face of the globe would only be disturbed by the eruption of volcanoes on the surface, which would appear considerably more violent and frequent from orbit than it does now. The Tamu Massif, a volcano formation on Earth equivalent in magnitude to Olympus Mons on Mars, would presently be visible in what was once the North Pacific. This state will almost certainly last forever, unless a series of lucky comets carrying massive amounts of ice strike the Earth and restore the hydrosphere, which is extremely unlikely. given that the solar system has been established and the Earth's gravity has long cleared its close proximity. Even so, with several billion years left in the solar system's life, the chances of it happening aren't nil. Changing faces. For starters, it wouldn't stay as green for as long. Without water, all flora would quickly perish, turning the world into a brownish dot rather than a green and blue one. Because clouds would cease to develop and precipitation would end as a result, the weather would be dominated nearly completely by wind patterns. Apart from variations in wind speed, our environment would resemble a continuous summer, but not the sort where you wear shorts and t-shirts on vacation, the kind where your skin melts. The world's oceans store the most carbon, and it was recently discovered that Arctic melting emitted nitrous oxide, NO2, and sulfur dioxide, SO2, as well. With these sinks gone, the greenhouse gases would have a field day and temperatures would spiral out of control. Of course, the absence of vegetation would contribute to the problem, since plants would not be around to convert carbon dioxide, CO2, into oxygen, thus exacerbating the situation. Today's climate change issues would seem like small fry in comparison. Less volcanoes, more mountains. Surprisingly though, when there is a lack of water, volcanic activity decreases. Volcanoes, supervolcanoes, and their eruptions are the result of tectonic plates clashing and running over one another, which is usually triggered by the weight of oceans forcing one plate beneath another. Furthermore, water plays an important part in the volatility of the volcano once it has been generated. At extreme temperatures and pressures, liquid inside the Earth's crust turns into magma, culminating in eruptions like the one at Vesuvius, which obliterated poor old Pompeii. With no ocean to weigh plates down and no water to power eruptions, anytime two tectonic plates clashed, we'd be left with a sequence of incredibly high mountain ridges. Of course, such a process would take millennia, but the end result would be a barren, desert-like world with prickly ridges and gulfing chasms. Allow life to exist. Surprisingly, this would not spell the end of all life on Earth. Over millennia, certain microorganisms known as extremophiles have developed to be capable of life without water, demonstrating that evolution has a funny way of enduring even in the most challenging of circumstances. Extremophiles, on the other hand, get their nourishment from carbon monoxide, CO, which means they can survive without water or sunshine, even in scorching hot or acidic settings. Some live in the Earth's crust, while others remain effectively inactive inside massive subsurface crystals in a condition of suspended animation. So, this was all about this video. I hope you liked the information given in the video. If you have anything on your mind, feel free to comment below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get more videos like this. Hit the bell icon to get the notifications of the latest updates in the channel. Thanks for watching.